On November 21, 1994, all manufacturers of restaurant fire suppression systems were required to meet the requirements of the new UL Standard 300. To receive this UL listing, manufacturers were required to retest their systems on kitchen appliances such as griddles, ranges, woks, and fryers using much more stringent fire test methods. It is often asked why the appliance protection under UL Standard 300 requires considerably more extinguishing agent than with the previous Subject 300 systems. To answer these questions, we have assembled the following fire test sequences. For the sake of brevity, the pre-burn footage has been accelerated. This first sequence shows a fire test on a deep fat fryer following the new UL 300 test procedures. The new requirements state that a commercially available fryer must be used with a minimum heat-up rate of 12 degrees per minute and a maximum cool-down rate of 5 degrees per minute. Also, the auto-ignition temperature of the cooking oil must be at least 685 degrees Fahrenheit. The oil is heated until it auto-ignites. Then it is allowed to burn for 2 minutes with the fuel source left on at full intensity. During the second minute of pre-burn, the flame gains intensity and increases in height until it actually surrounds the discharge nozzle. At the 2-minute mark, the system is actuated. During discharge, there can be no splashing of flaming cooking oil outside the perimeter of the appliance. The fire is extinguished in a matter of seconds, and the agent builds up a foam blanket that secures the liquid surface to prevent reignition. The foam blanket must secure the fire for at least 20 minutes according to the new standard. This second sequence shows a fire test following the older UL Subject 300 test methods. This less stringent test allows the use of mock-up appliances with no specified heat-up rates. And because the mock-up appliances are not insulated, they cool down very rapidly. Also, the required minimum auto-ignition temperature of the cooking oil is 650 degrees Fahrenheit versus 685 with the new standard. And unlike the new UL test, the fuel source is immediately shut off after the fire ignites and the pre-burn is only 1 minute. Following the pre-burn period, the system is actuated. Again, the fire is quickly extinguished and a foam blanket is formed. This test requires just a 5-minute securement period, which can be more easily met because the lower temperatures and faster cool-down rates do little to degrade the foam blanket. This third sequence shows both fire tests simultaneously. Again, you'll be able to clearly see the significant differences in pre-burn time and flame intensity between the more stringent UL 300 test on the left and the previous test method as shown on the upper right. The added requirements to minimize the splashing of hot cooking oils also play a significant role in the longer extinguishment times and increased agent quantities used in today's UL 300 systems. The new UL 300 standard is clearly a more stringent test, which more closely simulates real-world conditions, not only as shown in these fire tests, but in the testing of woks, griddles, ranges, charbroilers, and various other appliances. In this final sequence, a UL-approved water spray system is being tested using the same UL 300 methods that all wet chemical fire suppression systems must undergo. Once again, a 2-minute pre-burn is used on a commercial fire and the fuel source is left on until discharge. At the 2-minute mark, the system discharges, and immediately the flames intensify. Unlike the wet chemical system shown in the previous tests, the water system does not achieve rapid extinguishment or securement. As the minutes pass, the fire continues to burn and water continues to flow. Finally, more than 6.5 minutes later, the fire is extinguished.